Right, now this will tell us. And that's pretty conclusive. Still going. Close. I think he's got it down.
How strong is he?
Oh, welcome back to the Pick and Go podcast, your one-stop shop for all things rugby union. And once again, I'm joined in studio by former All Black, former Cane, former Blues, former Wainui first 15. I don't know. No. Oh, what about just Wainui? Yeah. Okay.
That'll do.
Okay. Yeah. Piri Wipu. He's here. In fact, I think we'll introduce a new slot into the show, the Wainui Whisper. So we'll get all the good oil.
Hang on, I'm pretty sure. Hang on, it's not in the script. Well,
not this week, but maybe next week. Yeah, the Wainui Whisper. We'll get all the good oil coming out of over the hill there in Wainui o Mata. So Piri, welcome along again.
it's good to be back, Paulie.
What happened last week? The boys play?
Yes, they played the last round robin game against Tawa, and bit slow, but they got the dub in the end. My little mate over there. But yeah, it was good. How they've go up against Scots College this week. Be a big
Oh, so that means they're
big
in
game in the
the
semis. Yeah.
what the premier grade for college.
Yep.
Scots will be very hard.
Oh yeah. I've played finals footy for the last decade down here with Silverstream, so it's definitely going to be a tough ask for the boys to back it up. And
St. Pat Silverstream, they'll be very hard too. In fact, I don't think you'll have any easy games.
no,
Yeah.
not at all.
All righty. Speaking of nothing easy, we'll head up north and catch up with our good mate again, Ben Searle of Searle Talk Sports. Searle, welcome along. Welcome back. What'd you get up to over the past week?
Obviously footy's done for us, unfortunately. So, went along and watched the Warriors. Also caught a little glimpse of Harbour taking on Northland in a pre-season clash, which was a good watch. You know you're real sicko when you're heading along to some pre-season fixtures before the NPC gets underway. But yeah, really missed my All Blacks footy. Yeah, not too much, to be honest. Just watched the Olympics. Got stuck in.
Hang on, you said you're sick when you're watching preseason. Are you sure you weren't technically going to keep an eye on your Heat boys so that your bet comes through?
Oh, mate, I told them the dog pound's going to be humming this weekend. I said, Piri and Paulie are giving you guys no chance. They reckon the 351 to 12 isn't enough. Mate, they've got pictures of you blokes in their changing sheds saying, prove the haters wrong. It's all go. It's all go up the mighty Heat. This is the week where New Zealand gets put on notice, boys.
I could see the boys too just throwing the 180.
Yeah, because they don't miss, Paulie. You know that. They don't miss. The eyes in.
Especially if they get the nose. I mean, there's a lot of nose that they can. If they miss it, they've got issues. My nose is flat enough as it is.
The bullseye's big enough, eh?
And I think it's sort of it spread the further your career went.
Oh, don't you start, Paulie.
You did an opposite of Michael Jackson. His one went.
Maybe I should have broken my nose.
Yeah.
Right, let's get on. Question for this week for both of you, because there's so much going on in regards to track and field at the moment. And boy, how good! We picked up another gold just before we came in to record earlier this morning. So the New Zealand team going very, very well over there in Paris. But the question this week, if you look at the current All Black squad, which player would be the best 100-meter sprinter? That's the first one. Shirley, I'll go to you first. If you look at that squad, and I don't think it'll be any surprise if you select one of the outside backs. In fact, I'd be devastated if you looked at elsewhere. But for you, the current All Black squad, who's the best 100-meter sprinter?
Well, by all accounts, the quickest in the team is Rieko Ioane. That's what everyone says. So I think you'd have to go with Reeks. I'd love to see a flat-out foot race between him and a fully healthy Will Jordan, but Will's got a bit of a taller frame, doesn't he? So I think Reeks has that perfect sprinter's frame. So I'd back him in as my 100-meter sprint champ, I think. It's a bit boring, but by all accounts, he's the quickest bloke going around.
To be
Do you
fair,
reckon we could ask Razor to make this happen? This race, have
Line
all
them
the
up.
backs, have the back three have a bit of a 100-meter race
well,
and record it.
seeing as you've got the inside
Don't give
in
me the
there,
inside.
we'll leave that one to you to get that set up. We'll get the cameras there and record it. But yeah, Will Jordan, I think, fully fit, would definitely give the 100 meters a shout. And although he is quite tall, I seem to remember a guy, Usain Bolt, who was fairly tall as well and could run fairly quickly. For you, Piri?
I had Caleb Clark because I know he does a lot of sprint training.
See, now we're getting some.
I've only known
whispers.
this because Ronnie did say that he'd spent a bit of time before the sevens circuit to work on his speed so that he could be at top flight when he was catching the ball. So I'd probably say it'd be a good foot race, but I'm picking Caleb.
Oh, so this is from talking to Ronnie on the match fit.
Yes, that's right.
Is that right? I see. So we're finally getting a wee
That
bit
was
of
a
the
couple
oil.
of years ago, though. Come on, now it's
All right,
totally
all right.
different.
Hey, this
now.
is that new segment you spoke about, Paulie. It's
Well,
already
mine was- it's already didn't have anything ready, but there we go. Okay, who would be the best shot putter, Searle?
Oh, shot putter. I'm going to go Asafo Aumua. He looks like a ball of power, doesn't he? He's quite compact. He's very strong in the gym, loves his gym work, massive legs, solid base on him. I reckon he'd be a weapon with the shot put because I've seen him throw 120 kilo blokes around like they're nothing. So a shot put would be nothing.
It's very hard to argue with that. He's like a ball of muscle. He's compact, and you can see the sort of power that he would be able to produce to, what do they say? Put the shot, not throw it, put the shot. Well, no, just so what about you? Who's going to put the shot for you?
Well, I was thinking along the same lines, but since Searle said that, I'm thinking with his height, Mighty Williams.
Oh, yeah, I do like that one.
Mm.
Yeah, he's sort of got a Tom Walsh sort of look to him, to be fair, to Mighty.
It could be either him or Tyrell, just because they're a bit taller. You know, they've got that. I don't know how about Tyrell's footwork, but you know, he might spin and fall over. But I reckon
a Fletcher Newell will go all right too. He looks a bit like Jacko Gill, doesn't he? And he loves the gym. I've seen his squat videos. Looked like he was squatting a whole village. So he'd go all right.
Hey, this is it. We're starting to get a few Wainui whispers. Tyrell Lomax getting that.
purely on his height, though. That's the reason why I went with those two.
Just saying. What about the
Hang
best?
on, who are you going with? You didn't say who you're going with.
Well,
For both of them, actually.
Rico for mine.
Okay.
Yeah, I've heard the same things, and I think he would try to intimidate the guy next to him in lane whatever, and the guy on the other side of him. As they lined up, he'd just like look across, and then look the other way, and then boof, he's off.
You reckon he might give it the
I think he might.
at the end too?
Yeah. So yeah, him for the 100-meter sprint. In terms of the shot putter, it's hard to go past someone like Asafo Aumua. He just looks so powerful, and the way he busts through tackles, his strength, and I think he's got the agility as well to be able to, if he wanted, do the big spin around and then boom. So yeah, those are my two. Next one, best pole vaulter. Now this might be a wee bit more difficult. Best pole vaulter from the current All Black squad. Searle?
Yeah, this one is a little harder. Maybe a Geordie Barrett. He's got the height on him, plus he's got the skill set. He looks agile. You got to be able to move still and build up a bit of momentum in your run up. He's good under the high ball, flexible. Yeah, I reckon Geordie.
I was going with a healthy Will Jordan.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah. They do tend to be quite pole vaulters, lean, and usually with a wee bit more height than some of the other athletes. So I can understand why you're going with Geordie and with Will. I thought Bodie. I thought Bodie, a wee bit more experience. He
This is hang on.
what?
What are you telling us? Has he done
Pole
the
vault before. This is probably something we should know. I'm sure a lot of them did athletics at school anyway.
Question though, how do you become a pole vaulter? Like, do you just walk along to your local park one day and they're just like, mate, I reckon you'd go great at pole vault? Like, it's not your everyday run of the mill sport like rugby or whatever. How do you get introduced to the world of pole vault?
How are you not scared that
It's gonna snap or-
it's going to snap and then you end up on your head and
And how do you get it on the bus?
no, isn't there a slot that it can thing?
Oh, and do you have
That
to
the
pay
pole
for it
can-
as well?
yeah.
No, I don't know.
I don't know.
Excess luggage, it's an expensive
Yeah.
sport to travel.
It's like you can't get on a small plane either. So it's like,
Oh, surely they will. Months in advance, he will just send it over on the old shipping container.
but anyway, as we record, all the best to our three girls who have made it through to the finals of the pole vault. Was it Eliza, Imogen, and Olivia
Who?
McTaggart? Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you think 10, 15 years ago, we'd be happy just to have one person in the pole vault fight. We've got three. So awesome. Good luck to them too. Okay, one more question for you boys. If you had to put a 4x100 meter relay team together, but you had to pick one outside back, one inside back, one loose forward, and one tight forward, who's going to make your team? I'll go with you first, Searle. Who's going to be your outside back for the 4x100 meters relay?
Will Jordan, because I'm banking that a centre is a midfield, so they're an inside back. So I'm going with Will Jordan as my outside back.
Yeah, I think Searle is really, really stretching things here by putting the centres as inside backs. But you, Piri?
Well, Caleb.
You sticking with Caleb?
Yep.
Fair enough. I'm going to go with Rico. I'm going to say that he's an outside back. So I think that's a wee bit dodgy of Searle, not putting him as an outside back. Who's your inside back, Searle?
The bloke who's been playing centre the last 4 years, never appears on the wing, definitely an inside back as a centre is.
He's changed now, so I don't know where you were going with this because I was
Rico Ioane, mate, because he's an inside back. When's the last time he played on the wing, Paulie?
You too?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, what? I don't know what you've been watching. Have you been watching any of the All Black tests at all? The last 3 and 4 years?
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to treat this with the seriousness that it deserves.
How's it honest? You're playing a guy out of position with your first pick, mate. Come on.
I'm going to be honest. So for my inside back, I'm going to go with Bowden Barrett. All right. Yeah, okay. Your loose forward.
Well, Paulie's probably going to have a lock here, but I'm going to go with a genuine loose forward and Artie Savea.
All three of us?
Oh, well, wow.
Well, it seems.
Shirley and I definitely go with Artie.
Well, I'm going Artie as well.
Oh, okay. Well, just checking. We thought you might have come out with a giraffe of a lock.
Who, Harold the giraffe? Oh. Anyway, your tight forward. Don't tell me he's going to have a 6 or a 6 just because it.
Nah. He's going to be fresh off the shot put, and then he's going to back up a Safawa Moore.
Same.
Yeah, I think I'll go Cody Taylor.
You do realise he used to be a back, in his younger days.
Asafo Omua.
Yeah, on the wing and in the midfield.
Once again, these Wainui whispers. They've
No,
already
common knowledge.
Wow.
Down in the rugby
Down in
circle,
Wainui.
Yeah, around Wellington. Around London.
Beautiful. I think that wouldn't be the worst relay team, to be fair. In fact, that's another thing that you probably want to get Razor to put together a relay team.
Well, who's he going to do that against? They're going to make another team up.
Yeah, me, you, Searle.
Oh, I can tell you now, we're losing.
No, they should do it after every test. Like, so we play Argentina this week, and then at full time, there's a 4x100 meter relay. The crowd
Around
get
the
amongst it. Off you go.
Standing. So you do the bat and change like that. You don't get a 10 meter freaking or 20 meter run.
Yeah. And it's for an extra bonus point. So you can get 6 points for a win. If you win, you score your tries, and you win the 4x100 relay.
So we are helping out New Zealand rugby big time here.
We should just bring back like fastest athlete in codes, like they did over in Aussie. They had the fastest rugby league, AFL. What else do they have? Just track
football.
What does they have? A track football? Yeah, it'd be awesome to see. Have a cool little.
What they should
like
do is have the fastest man in NPC. Each team put up one guy.
Didn't they used to have that? Oh, that might have been Sevens.
Oh, right. Anyway,
the Sevens comp.
That would be great to see. Okay, let's look at rugby proper now. And well, after last week,
what's rugby? Come on.
It's all about the Olympics right now.
Yeah.
Last week when it was a bit of a sort of a lull in rugby terms. We're back with a bang this week because the first round of the NPC kicks off. But we'll have a look at the Rugby Championship starting as well. And of course, we've got a big game down here with the All Blacks hosting Argentina. I guess first, Searle, and as we record, the teams haven't been named yet. But if you saw the Jason Ryan interview last night, you'd know that Scott Barrett will not be playing in the first two tests against Argentina, which means that Artie will be captain. But I guess, first of all, who would you like to see out on the field? Is there anyone that you really think I'd like to see him have a run against Argentina?
Well, if he's fully healthy, and I know he played on the weekend and got through some minutes too, I'd like to see Will Jordan out there, but probably via the bench, to be fair. I think they'll stick with the combinations that we established throughout those games against England and Fiji. And I'm really excited to see how the team starts to play now, because for me, we look still like that similar team to last year. Razor's had a bit more time now in order to implement the way he wants to play. So I'm excited to see these combinations to continue to develop and just the style of rugby that we want to play over the next 4 years, because I think this first game will be really similar. That second game against Argentina, assuming that we get the win this weekend, I think that's where you'll see guys get an opportunity to start. But this week, I'm expecting things to be fairly run-of-the-mill. They'll want to keep the momentum going. So, yeah, maybe a Will Jordan off the bench. But apart from that, I don't see too many changes. The biggest selection area for me is the midfield. And it's in the 13, because I think it's already given that Geordie's going to wear the 12. And it's who partners him out of Proctor, who I thought looked really sharp on debut and has that established combination with Geordie. Plus, you got that hometown factor. So maybe you start the two Welly lads together. Leonard Brown, for me, was probably the man of the match in that Fiji game, albeit he played at 12. I thought his direct ball running was massive for us. And he hasn't really got the opportunity to start in his preferred position in the 13 all that much over the last few years. And then you got Rieko Ioane, who's the incumbent. He's been the one that's always just worn that jersey, but many people haven't been as happy or as impressed with his form this year. There's still a lot of chat. Maybe he's an international winger. So do they look to make that switch there? Does a Proctor or an Anton get the opportunity, or is it just Reeks? That, for me, is the most hotly contested position.
For you, Piri, if you have a look at the halfbacks, Noah Hotham was very, very good when he came on. The last test against Fiji, TJ, does Razor give him the sort of the farewell to his home fans, or does he wait until the Australian test match, or does Razor go, no, this is test match rugby. I'm going to pick the best side, the side that I think is going to win. So if you have a look at the halfbacks there, do you prefer one of them starting and another one coming off the bench?
I'd probably say you stick to your most capped and experienced player. That way, you can still introduce these new to the team with the two incumbents. Or debutants. Sorry, it's I'll stick with TJ to start, and then you bring fresh legs with the likes of
Cortez,
or even Cortez. It just depends on what style he wants to do in the second half. I know over the years we've banked on our fresh legs to speed the game up and inject a bit more energy and pace into the game, and try and keep the foot on the throat. So I think it will be a TJ to start with a bit of physicality and organisation, and then you bring one of the two younger boys on. Depends who they decide, whether it's Hotham or Cortez, as energizers and try and speed things up. I think it doesn't matter which one. I think both of them have done a pretty good job on when Cortez when he started until he got injured, and then Hotham coming on and finishing the job. But I think either or, it doesn't matter. They're both sort of nipping at each other's heels, and I think they're putting a lot of pressure on the likes of TJ to get that starting role.
Plummer comes in as injury cover, and it's a fantastic reward for the form that he showed over the Super Rugby season. He's unlikely to get any game time unless one of either Barrett or McKenzie pop up with an injury. So in terms of the number 10 jersey, Searle, do you want to see Barrett start here because of, I guess, the energy that he showed when he came on against the Poms? Or are you keen to see McKenzie continue to develop, I guess, his combination with the halfback and more than likely Geordie in the 12 jersey?
Yeah, I'd like to see D-Mac stay there, and I'm banking this purely on the fact that I think Bodie will be at 15 and then Will Jordan on the bench, because I don't think they'd just chuck Will straight back into starting at 15 after how long he's been out of action. So I'm thinking that D-Mac and Bodie are our best starting combination, D-Mac at 10, Bodie at 15, and then you bring Will on, and what they do from there will be interesting, because obviously Bodie, he's so experienced. He's been in great form too in those games against England. So, yeah, look, at the start of the year and at the middle of the year, I thought this was D-Mac's jersey 100%, but now it's probably more of a 50-50 shootout when the team's fully healthy, isn't it? And it's just going to come down to the style that they want to play. But I think D-Mac's earned the right by hanging around, by playing Super Rugby, by being one of the best players in Super Rugby this year to wear the 10 jersey at the moment. But it's going to be interesting once all cabs are back on deck. And I found that Plummer one really interesting too. He 100% deserves it. And we were calling that maybe he should have been there over David Harvey because of his form. They pick Perifeta as a fullback. Once he's injured, they bring in a 10-12 cover instead. So, yeah, I thought that was a little interesting. Perhaps another sign that my mate Sean Stevenson's even further down the ranks than we thought.
Piri, they've also got Ruben Love listed as an outside back. He's also played in the 10 jersey at times for Wellington. So can you see him being utilised in one of these first two tests against Argentina?
Yeah, probably not at 10. I think he does a better job being a second pivot man from fullback. Because he obviously has a bit more time, a bit more space. I can see things a bit different in terms of the role at first 5'8", but I definitely see him getting getting a opportunity. I think it's awesome that he's in the environment at the moment, because he was pretty outstanding up until his injury, and then had to try and make sure that he got his game fitness back up and got back to the level of play that he was at before the injury. But I mean, I think there will be an opportunity for him to play. It'll just depend on what style of footy they want and what they want to achieve out of it. And then if it all aligns, then I think everyone will slot into those positions and understand what their roles and responsibilities are. So yeah, I do see Love getting an opportunity.
Searle, we've currently got the All Blacks $1.08 favourites to win the match against Argentina, $7. The All Blacks are 17.5 point favourites. The $1.08, that's been slotted into all number of multis over the last week, and I expect that to continue right up until kickoff. The minus 17.5 has attracted a wee bit more money towards Argentina getting the 17.5. If you look at this, and after the first three performances from the All Blacks in this test match season, is there any sort of way you're leaning in terms of that line?
Always makes me nervous when it's that closer to 20 line, just because there is a lot of points in Test rugby, and Argentina, they're not that bad. Obviously, they took on a bit of a second-string French side and probably didn't perform as well as they would have liked to at home. They were pretty heavily favoured to win both of those games, and they didn't do that. But yeah, they're no slouches. I don't think we should be underestimating them. I do expect this to be probably the easier of the three opponents that we're going to face throughout this rugby championship. I think it'll be Argentina, then Aussie, then South Africa, and us battling it out at the top. But yes, 17.5 points off the back of a bit of a layoff. The boys haven't played together for a couple of weeks. I'm still going to back the All Blacks, but it's one of those lines where I don't think you can hit it with 100% confidence. I think the bookies have done enough there to put it in that awkward position and make you double question it a little bit, because that $1.08 is so slim, but at the same time, it's probably about right as well.
Argentina had a wee bit of success against the All Blacks in recent times, Piri. So if you have a look at that, is that 17.5? Is that as Searle said, pretty much where the line should be? The bookies have got this one right, because we are attracting a bit of money on both sides.
Oh, yeah, like Searle said, I mean, you got to factor in time in between the last test to this one, and it's just whether they've managed to roll back into where they finished. So it's a bit of a tough one. I can't take away the results that they had up against France, Argentina. Can't sort of factor that in, but yeah, it's a totally different beast, really. No, I think that might be roughly around the right points. I guess
total points 53.5. If this weather continues, and right now we're really having some wonderful midwinter sort of weather. I don't remember a winter that it's been cold, but it's been very, very calm here in Wellington. Searle, the 53.5. I can tell you most punters are leaning to the under here. So I guess they're thinking this is going to be very much a game that's dominated by the defense. Can you see a bit of a breakout here, or are you siding with the bulk of punters at the moment and taking the under 53.5?
Well, just looking at the weather at the moment, Thursday, Friday is pretty nasty, and then Saturday there's a few showers, and they expect there to be some winds as well. So Paulie's done the ultimate jinx right there. He's gone the big lift, said how beautiful our winter's been and that it's going to be great conditions, and now she's expected to piss down. So factoring that in, it looks like we're in for a Wellington special at the Tinny House. I'm going for like a 36-14 type of scoreline. I think it'll get close to that line, but I'll back the unders. Cheers, Paulie.
Beautiful,
you know,
beautiful.
before you ask
It's
them
a
whether-
beautiful. It's
You
a
know, you should check the weather forecast beforehand, eh?
It's a beautiful day here today.
Both of us on the app looking at the weather forecast, and we're both like listening to you going, "Are you sure it's like that many points?" Look at the weather, boy.
Are you saying under 53.5 is the way to go because of the forecast?
Yes.
So you're happy with
I
that?
do believe it would be under 53. It'll be tough. It'll be a close one, but yeah, it'll be just under.
Alrighty, we might hear a wee bit more of this at the end of the show when we put our $100 on some rugby betting for the weekend. I think we should, because we had a look at the men's tournament in Paris. I think we should also have a look at the women's, because boy, oh boy, did they do us proud, picking up the gold medal in the sevens, going through unbeaten. They looked very, very good throughout. It was a tough final. In fact, for a moment there, I thought maybe Canada had put a drone up or something at the women's training. Well, I got a wee bit worried there, but in the end, the girls were just way too good. Searle, if you have a look at that, well, they couldn't do it. They couldn't have done too much more, to be fair.
Nah, and for me, they're one of the most likable sides in world sport, regardless of whatever team, whatever country you're from. Just the way they play, their demeanor, how humble they are, but how talented they are. They just look like they're having so much fun. The culture in that environment is clearly unreal. Like, they would do anything for each other. The commitment, the passion they play with, like the tears at full time, everything like that. You can't help but get around them. And then you add to that just how good they are, and back-to-back gold medals at the Olympics is incredibly hard to achieve, because straight away you're the hunter, not the hunted. Like, everyone's going for you straight away. Everyone wants to knock you off. We saw that pressure probably affect Australia. They came in alongside us as the favourites, and they walked away with no medals, which makes our win even more sweeter. Just repeating, Australia did not win a medal in that. They absolutely choked. But shout out to our girls. And a few of the legends as well, hanging up the boots, just makes it even more special. So, yeah, that for me was the gold medal I wanted us to win the most at the Olympics, and I'm really happy that they got it done.
Yeah, and a couple of the girls, or a few of the girls, changing boots, not hanging them up, just changing them for a different code.
But I might, Porsche, welcome to the Wars.
But if you have a look at the way they play, the way they present themselves, they seem to be having fun out there, and they really seem to be enjoying their rugby, which is sort of like the opposite to some of you fellas, Piri.
Well,
I'm just saying, you guys sometimes a bit grumpy.
What a drive-by. What a drive-by.
Wow.
What? I'm just saying, hey, smile, bro. Enjoy.
It's a bit
What?
bit hard to smile when you're got a lot of pressure on you from 4 million people, Paulie, and
I'll kick the ball, you.
No, I like Searle said, like, everything that they do, it's not just about what they do on the field, it's off the field too. I think the best part of that was the connection they had after the medal ceremony, where they all sort of sat together, mixed and mingled, and took a photo together with Canada and USA. It speaks volume that, yes, your enemy's out on the field, but you can actually still be friends off the field. And, that's something, I guess, in some men's sports, we can take away from what our wahine do in terms of, having fun. I know some of our boys, sevens boys, would have been a bit gutted, but they still know how to have a bit of fun. They know how to cross that white line and be like, all right, we need to go to mahi here. Some of them might not smile because they're probably not used to scoring many tries, because I know I didn't score many in my lifetime. But I guess just everything that they do is awesome. And then it's good to see Waka come and join the Hoi Horse. Stace has come to join the Hoi Horse. Yeah. Yeah, probably do better than the men at the moment.
Well, I guess that's part of the Olympic sort of mantra, I guess, is like it's all about the competition, but it's also about friendship and after the competition finishes, being able to get together and celebrate, even if you didn't win, celebrate small achievements. So that was very, very good to see. And I guess, as you mentioned, you know, you've had a lot of pressure on you during your career. And I guess those girls, defending champions, there would have been a whole lot of pressure on them in the build up to the tournament and then during it as well. So for them to come out on top was a huge, huge effort, and really, really happy for them. So
We did know how to have a bit of fun on the field, though.
well, did you ever like after a test match against the Wallabies, did you like catch up with Gregan and them and have a beer or something? Did you guys go
They
into
used to have after match functions, and
Yeah.
then they stopped it. So what we started doing was going over to the opposition, or they'll come to us.
changing room?
Change
Or
rooms, just take a beer and have a beer and talk about life, because you don't get to see them all the time.
Yeah.
And yeah, just have a yarn about not so much the game, but what they're doing in their spare time.
So you were part of the, I guess, culture where you used to have after match functions where both teams turned up and there were a few speeches, I guess, and things like that. And then it stopped. When did it stop?
Oh,
Do you remember?
no, because I was wondering when it started. While we were just having a quiet one in the changing shed. So, but it was just the fact that we had to still try and we still wanted to have that connection with them.
Yeah.
Because especially against South Africa, playing against the Springboks, like, man, some of those boys were brutal. You know, and then after that, they're totally different people. So you want to always try and catch up. You make good friendships with people from other nations and that, and you just, you know, it's every time after the game I'd always go and talk to them and then try and find someone else to sit down and have a cordial with. So yeah, it was I think doing that was a lot better than actually having to get dressed in the number ones
And the number ones, it was better
and
just
then having
catch up
other
in the
people
changing room.
being sort of there and have to try and put on a brave face if you lost to punters that were at the aftermatch function.
So who was the easiest Springbok and the easiest Wallaby to talk to for you? Like, was it
None. They all
they all
you just go and you hope for the best. They're usually pretty good just to walk over to. I mean, most of them always smile when you walk in, and if someone smiles, make eye contact. Oh, what cheer, brother? take a cold one, hey, bro. How you going? Tough one in the tough day at the office. Yeah, it was, mate.
so say if you played in South Africa,
Mm-hmm.
what beer would you drink?
Water.
No, well, every beer's got water in it, but
Yeah.
what's the name of the beer?
What flavour was it?
It was brown. Either. Actually, I'm not with them anymore, so it don't matter. Heine or Budweiser.
Oh, right. And when you're over here, was it Steinlager?
Yeah, but I wasn't a big fan of the classic, but they started giving us pures.
Oh, yeah. You preferred
I just didn't like the aftertaste of the
of the
grenade,
classic.
so
Oh, yeah. Well, is that what you called it, the grenade?
that's what everyone up the coast calls them, grenades.
Yeah, green grenades. You get a hangover from one, Paulie. It's not worth it, mate.
Oh, I wouldn't know.
I've seen you on Courtney Place, mate. I've seen footage.
Back to the women's team. If you look at the tournament, have you got any players that sort of stood out for you, Searle?
Michaela Bly, just because I love watching her play. I thought that whole story with the Jamaican sprinter was really cool as well. Just seeing like an elite athlete be so stoked to meet someone else and like their idol, and for that to happen to her during this tournament was pretty cool. And I thought that storyline was epic. And then just whenever she's out on the paddock, just an absolute weapon, like so powerful, so strong, got the full skill set, and just looks like one of those people who will just empty the tank every single time for her teammates. So I thought she was unreal. And then also Sarah Hirini just in that final, breaking her jaw or whatever the injury was, fracturing her jaw or her cheekbone or something. I see she's out for a few months now, but yeah, what she came back from with that injury and then to play through something like that just out of sheer want and determination to win and not let down her teammates is pretty special. And those are those storylines that make this team just unreal.
Pity for you, and that's true for Hirini. That's a big injury to come back from. In fact, you've had an injury or two in your career, so just can you tell us how hard it is to come back from that? I guess once you get the injured, you have an operation or something, and then you can't actually do any sort of exercise or very little, if any at all. What goes through your mind? Are you picturing 6 months or 9 months down the track where I'll be back on the field again, or is it I'll just look at today and then tomorrow? What goes through your head?
Ooh, probably the worst guy to ask this question.
Well, do you get down? Do you?
Yeah, definitely. I was definitely down in the dumps.
Yeah.
I absolutely hated it because my teammates are running around on the field.
Yep.
And the only thing I was doing was in the gym, which I hate the gym. Absolutely hate it. So the whole time I was trying to focus on when I could start running again, or when I can be more active, walk, start running, to get back out on the field. Yeah, it was a tough one for me because like I hated throwing tin around. I didn't mind the cardio side of it. It was just more the throwing tin around. And I pretty much told my trainers a few times they can absolutely get him a few times, just because I felt I was doing the same stuff rather than just trying to have, I wouldn't say different stuff all the time, but just trying to make everything fresh so that I'd actually feel a bit more motivated to do things. That's the only reason why I hated it, because I hated doing the same stuff over and over and over, and I felt like I was actually getting a lot stronger, but all I really wanted to do was just be out on the field or just
running around.
Yeah, or even if I had to do cardio, I didn't mind doing that. Hated sitting on the grinder. Oh man, it's the worst machine ever.
What's the grind? You mean like that?
I would never make it in the
America's Cup.
The amount of times I had to train on that bloody machine, I was just like, nah, stuff this. I don't want to be involved in that ever again. But then the rower, obviously, because I couldn't really do anything else, so put the rower, jumped on the rower and had one foot on a skateboard and just backwards and forwards, moving backwards and forwards with that. But yeah,
so what?
I had a fracture dislocation.
One leg was out, and the other was in
locked in, ready to go.
Locked in.
So one quad was looking pretty good. The other one was looking like, what's going on here, bruv? They're bloody having forgetting leg day on the other side.
So, did you have any other? I guess
the other hard part was when I actually started playing. The confidence that it was sweet. I just had my thought process every time someone come close to even tackle me, I quickly threw the ball away.
Oh, so you were always sort of thinking about your injury, or it was in the back of your mind
that it would happen again.
And before the injury, maybe you would have had a wee bit of a go, or you wouldn't have thrown the pass as quickly. But after it, you found yourself, no, get rid of the ball.
Plus, I still had like pins in my leg as well, so I was like making sure that like if someone did tackle me around the ankles, it was like whether the force from it would like hit the pins and stuff like that, because they were still in there. But no, it wasn't too bad. I think it was just more of a mental thing, because I remember TJ done the exact same injury and he reached out and I said to him, you just got to be mentally strong around this, because like I know I've been there, done that. My hardest part was just, I know he loves going to the gym.
Oh, so
to throw
that's all
kit
right.
around.
That's all right for
So
him then.
but in terms of like him wanting to be out there at such a young age, you know, he would have hated it a bit, just because he mentally prepped and ready to just play footy, not mentally sit in a little box area doing weights and stuff like that. So yeah, it does take a toll in terms of the confidence boost when you first come back to playing footy. That you can trust that you're good to go, even though there's nothing wrong with there. It's just mentally, that was the thing that I didn't want. I had to fight.
So you say there wasn't a lot of variety. Did you guys, either with All Blacks training or Canes training or NPC, did you ever do anything like yoga or I'm just trying to CrossFit? I don't even know if CrossFit was around back then. Are there any other sort of training techniques that you used to give you that variety?
Yep. When I moved to Auckland, I would always go to early morning sessions at a gym and do CrossFit stuff, and then just continued it. So whenever I was in Auckland with the ABs, I would actually just take off and go and do a session. We do stretch exercise. So we have every Friday was a slot, and pretty much all the boys would go to it, and we just in our team room and just stretching right before. Again, our physio would always put up the 30 for 30s documentaries, and boys would just be stretching while watching that, just trying to have a few things to entertain us. By the time we finished, it was like dinner time, but we didn't want to leave the bloody doco or the movie, so we stayed there a bit longer.
Oh, yeah, did 3 hours in the gym. Yeah. Half an hour weights, 2.5 for watching 30 for 30. Rightio, we've gone a wee bit off tangent again, and we're running over time, so we'll head back up to Searle. And the NPC kicks off this weekend, and it looks like a very, very good competition once again. If I have a look at the outright market, the favourite, Wellington, at $3.50. There's a couple on the second line of betting. Auckland and Canterbury both paying $4. Then Taranaki at $7, and then we're double digits and out from there on in. But a couple of games that sort of stick out this weekend, and I thought we'd try and have a look at both of them. The first game, Auckland-Wellington, up there. And these two teams opened up at $1.87 the pair. Now, there's been a bit of a move there. Auckland now out to $1.97. Wellington into $1.77. And that's despite over 80% of the action in that head-to-head market being on Auckland. So I don't know if the bookies are standing firm because Harry Plummer is cover for the All Blacks. And punters just got on early before that news was out. But Searle, if you have a look at this game, how are you feeling about your boys? Oh, well, no, not your boys. Your boys south of the border.
They're our biggest rivals, mate. What is this? First Takapuna, now you're saying I'm an Auckland fan. Come on, Paulie.
Talking about the heat, and then all of a sudden, your team, Auckland. Oh, my God.
It was a slip, all right.
Yeah,
couldn't think of anything worse. But is it confirmed that Plummer won't play? Like, because he's just a part of this All Blacks wider squad. Is he a chance to lace up?
I think he could be a chance to lace up. So if he is, I really like the look of that $1.97. The fact that they're playing up there, first game of the season. A lot of those boys will be on a high after the Super Rugby season. So yeah, I can understand why punters have sort of veered towards Auckland in that head-to-head market.
Yeah, agreed. And I think if Plummer is out there, then that would be the swing factor for me. If he's not, then I'm happy to take Wellington. But both these sides are stacked on paper, and they're deservedly sitting up the top there in terms of your futures markets. I think it's going to be a great game. For me, the early rounds of this competition are always the most exciting because you get to see some players or some teams that perform a little better than what you'd expected. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple upsets this weekend. That Auckland-Wellington game is a bit of a coin toss for me. So I'll just say if Plummer's out there, then I'd back Auckland. If he's not, then I'll back Wellington. But I think either way, there's some monies to be made on some alternative lines and things like that. I think that's the safer option.
Piri, obviously you've got a few whispers for us in terms of the Wellington squad and what's going on there.
No.
What?
He's already dished out plenty.
So if you'll have a look at this game then, are you with the money at the moment and Auckland, or are you with Wellington here? How are you looking at this game?
No, I'm looking at the favourites to get the job done. That's all I can really say about it, Paulie. I know you're trying to.
You have got
push for something,
yeah,
but I actually don't have anything.
You got something, and you're
I've
just
got
holding.
nothing at all. Tyra's playing now, Jackson.
Oh, you hit it out.
I'm just joking.
Oh,
Just joking.
All right. Yeah, we're running out of time. So another game I thought we'd have a look at. A wee bit of a derby here. Waikato up against Bay of Plenty. Waikato $1.57, Bay of Plenty $2.30. And there's been a bit of support for Bay of Plenty here, Searle, at $2.30. Once again, as we record, neither team has been named. But Bay of Plenty not out of this.
No, definitely not. Well, they were a top 4 side last year, and they're incredibly strong on paper, aren't they? And I always love getting around Bay of Plenty and sides like that in these competitions, because I just have a theory that, they're not the Super Rugby franchise side like your Waikato is with Hamilton and the Chiefs. So I think it means a little more to some of these franchises. They target NPC more, and it just has a more significant importance. Bay of Plenty start the season with their Storm Week too, so they play again next Wednesday against Counties. So I think really important first up to come away with this win, because it's a double game week for them, and you want to target this one while you're fresh and try catch a team first up, perhaps not looking as silky as they could be. But all of it comes down to the teams and the team namings. But I do like Bay of Plenty here as an outsider, and I think there's an opportunity for some underdogs to do pretty well. That Counties side, Hoskins Satutu will be playing for them. No Perifeta for Taranaki. So there's a chance for them to go down at some good odds. They're paying $4, which I think is pretty crazy. Yeah, there's some great matchups first up and a chance to pull off some upsets.
Piri, you happy with where Waikato are in terms of the bookies? $1.57 to win. They're also, what are they, 4.5 point favourites, or can you see Bay of Plenty upsetting the apple cart here?
Oh, I actually want the Steamers to do pretty well this year, purely because of their coach, Richard Waddy, who's been a part of the Lions setup when I was there.
Big Porneki boy.
Yep, big Porneki man. So I'm sure. He'll definitely do his part to try and give them the opportunity to upset Waikato Rugby. So, yeah, hope the Steamers can get the job done this weekend and upset.
Throwing it out as well. Emoni Narawa will be on the wing for them. Do we know what Sam Kane's up to this weekend? He played preseason for them last week. Like, if you get on early doors before these teams are named and just hope, Aiden Ross, there's so much All Black talent or ex-All Black talent in these teams. All it needs is one selection, like a Sam Kane, to need another 40 minutes under his belt before they look at him for that second test. And all of a sudden, Bay of Plenty are the $1.50 favourites.
I couldn't agree more, Searle. If there's somehow we could get a whisper about what was going to happen in terms of team selections, we could get on before the off. So we'll look out next week. Maybe the oil will be flowing a wee bit freer next week.
Is that even legal for you to bring up, Paulie? You might need to cut that out, mate. The TAB match fixing here. This is huge.
I reckon you're going to get us into more trouble.
It's true.
Right, let's go for a hunch. Anyone got a hunch for this week? I know, Piri, he doesn't want to do any more hunches because people get injured when he has a hunch.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm out.
What about Searle? Any hunches up north?
Well, I'm just around my mighty Harbour Heat at the dog pound. Everywhere you look, teams with dogs in it at the moment are going outstanding. You know, the Bulldogs, they're up and about in the NRL. I just think the margin here is just disrespectful stuff. So Harbour are going to set the competition alight this year. We're in for a top 4 finish. And I think we start with a big 1-12 win. Nothing crazy, but a tight win against Hawke's Bay, who their whole goal this year is just defend the shield. So we're on.
Righty-ho. So nothing from Piri in terms of a hunch. I've got a hunch, and I sort of alluded to it earlier on. We've had a very, very calm winter. It's been cold here in Wellington, but it's been very, very calm. Not a lot of wind. So I'm just sort of surmising, has Wellington lost its mojo because the wind is just not around as much as it used to be? And for that reason, my hunch is Auckland will beat Wellington in the first round of the NPC. That's my hunch, Auckland. And they're now slight outsiders at $1.97. So I'm happy. Well, I'm not happy because I want to see Wellington do well. But my hunch, just with the way the weather's been going, I see Auckland beating Wellington this weekend.
That's it.
Well,
That's it. You're out. Disconnected the microphone. You're out. You're out. Get out of here.
we're back again, people. Don't worry. Normal transmission has resumed. Okay, let's get down to some punting. We've got $100 to spend, and you can spend it on the All Blacks, the Rugby Champions this week. You can spend it on any of the NPC games. It's up to you, boys. Searle, we'll go head up north. Go with you first.
Rightio. I will split $50 on the unders in the All Blacks Argentina total points, 53.5, and I'll do a little same gamer. I'll chuck in whoever is starting in the 13 jersey to score. So we'll go with those two, the unders and the total points, and whoever starts at centre to score any time, $50 on that.
Okay.
Then I'll go 2 NPC multis here, $25 on Harbour 1-12 and Bay of Plenty 1-12 at $12.25. And then I will chuck $25 on Auckland plus 12.5, Counties plus 12.5, and North Harbour plus 4.5 at $4.26.
Oosh.
Can someone disconnect
Searle.
Searle's mic too
Well,
after he's like going against Wellies?
No, Auckland plus 12.5. So Welly are going to win, but Auckland will keep it tight, Piri. I got your back, mate. I'm not like Paulie. He's a turncoat.
Yeah, we're going to turn this off again.
Okay. What's Piri going to do?
Geez, I haven't actually thought about this one. Maybe you should come up with your one, and then I'll quickly come up with my...
This is where Piri does his best work, though.
Okay. I'll go with my one. I'm going to have a $50 multi. I'm going to go Taranaki to win against Counties Manukau. I'm going to stay away from the Auckland-Wellington game.
That's a change of the tide. Far out.
I'm going to go Bay of Plenty to win at $2.30. And I'll also take North Harbour plus the points in that game. So a 3-leg multi there. Taranaki to win, Bay of Plenty to win, and North Harbour plus the points against Hawke's Bay. $50 on there. And the other $50, I was hoping that maybe a team or two would have been named. I don't want to just name a jersey number this time. So I'm going to go with, no, I won't go. I won't go with Auckland. I won't. I'll stay away from that. I'm going to go with Tasman to beat Manawatu, although I think that will be a very, very tight game, and Otago to beat Southland. So Otago and Tasman both to win their games, $50 on there. Just a straight multi.
Okay. I'm going to go with $25 multi between the two tests. So the AB's 13 plus, and then the Springboks 1-12. And then I'm going to put 25 on. What number did I have in my head? 12 to score a try for the ABs.
Uh-oh.
And then for my multi, I'm going to go Taranaki head-to-head, Lions head-to-head, Steamers head-to-head, and Harbour head-to-head.
Yeah, I got him. I got him.
Oh. All righty. Okay. So that's what we're doing this weekend. Don't forget, there's plenty of promotions on as well. We've got the Oval Ball Mega Multi promotion. I'm just having a look down. Oh, I wondered if the boys were doing some NPC action. I can't see anything at the moment. So I'll stay out of that. But yeah, the Oval Ball Mega Multi promotion on for your rugby. I think that's it for this week, boys. Searle, what's up this weekend?
Oh, just the usual, mate. Harbour, like I've rattled on about. Just letting you know, Paulie, you'll be the only face on the dartboard now. We've got Piri. He's well and truly entrenched in the North Harbour Heat fan club, and hopefully we'll see him at a game this year, letting off some flares and repping the Harbour colours. But yes, it's just Paulie now after he declared Auckland as my team and then backed Auckland in to beat Wellington too, showing that he's a true brew Wellingtonian. But yeah, just watching sport really, the Olympics. Warriors and Harbour on Sunday. Super Sunday doesn't get any better.
There's certainly plenty on this weekend. Piri, what about you? What are you going to be up to? You got
Playoffs
the big
footy.
game?
Playoffs footy. We play our semi-final semi-final this weekend against Scots College, and then probably just watch a lot of footy and more Olympics, to be honest, and then run around after the kids as well.
Really?
Nothing special.
Yeah, there's plenty of sports on, so I'll be very, very keen to watch a wee bit of cycling, a wee bit more athletics. Definitely keen to watch Wellington do well against Auckland this weekend.
Tell us how you really feel, Paulie. What was your bet again? What was your hunch? That Wellington have lost it.
That was the hunch. That's all.
Lost their mojo and vibe.
Well, let's hope
because of the wind. Well, to be fair, it's starting to become a bit of a ghost town, Wellington City. Quite a few shops are closing, so you might not be too far off. But they're not going to lose, though.
I've turned them back. Don't worry. Also, the All Blacks, very, very keen to see how they go this Saturday night here. You going along?
Oh, I don't know. My daughter did ask me if I could take her, but yeah, I wouldn't have a clue, to be honest. I don't really like going because
why?
I swear in that game during the game. So
is it okay to swear at home?
Yeah, where no one can judge me and be like, what are you up to? Can you stop swearing, please?
You're in a family zone.
Yeah. So yeah, how's the putting going?
Oh yeah, here we go. It was a faulty machine now.
Oh, whatever.
Far out. Gee.
2 meters. He still couldn't get a 2 meters.
Anyway, thanks for joining us on this week's edition of the Pick and Go podcast. Great to have Searle back. Great to have Piri back as well, I guess. And look out for those Wainui whispers next week. I'm sure we'll have plenty. Thanks for listening. We'll be back again next week on the Pick and Go podcast.